Okay. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank Jim McVeigh and the Outback Bowl people. We've had a great time. The weather's been outstanding. The hotel's phenomenal. Tampa's been wonderful. Hospitality's outstanding. We've had 2 practices, a little sluggish today. I thought we had a very physical practice yesterday, a little more sluggish today. And injury-wise, Rico Dowdle probably won't play in the game. I think everybody else should be good. Donnell Stanley didn't practice, I guess, a day ago. He practiced today. Sherrod Green was back on the field today. A.J. Turner getting ready to play a good Michigan team we've got a lot of respect for. Got a lot of respect for the program. First of all, the winningest program in college football. Coach Harbaugh's done a really good job. I'm a football fanatic, and you go back and look at Coach Schembechler and Coach Carr and all the great players that have played at this program. Got great respect for the program. Charles Woodson's one of my favorite players to watch as a defensive back. So Anthony Carter, Desmond Howard, he'll get mad you don't mention his name. But we're looking forward to a great game on Monday. I'll open up for any questions.
Yeah.
Coach, I asked Coach Harbaugh the same question. A lot of people talk about if it's not a playoff game, it's a meaningless bowl game. He said the bowls are important but should expand to 16 to playoffs. What's your feeling on all that?
Well, first of all, anytime you hit the football field, it's meaningful. That's nonsense in my opinion. This is a huge game for our program, an opportunity to win 9 games, an opportunity to play Michigan, a team that we've got great respect for. But I think the bowls are really important to college football. Our guys are having a wonderful time. And we've had We good?
Sorry. All right. I guess somebody's good. We're good.
It's the first bad deal we've had with Outback Bowl people right there.
That's the hotel.
That's a hotel. All right, take that off the mark there. I think we're good. So, but I think that the bowl games are really important for college football. And I think, at 4 teams, the 5th team's pissed off. There's 64 teams that play basketball, and we'll have shows on Sunday night, and the 65th team, their coach is pissed they didn't get in the tournament. So, it's a long season as it is. And the bowls are really important for college football, and I think that our guys are having a great week and excited to be here.
Here's your second row.
Coach, you've mentioned the word respect in terms of Michigan a couple of times already, but how much respect can your program earn if you're able to win this game?
Well, absolutely. I think you see the progress we've made in year 2, and we continue to move forward in the culture of our program. In order to continue to get where we want to get, and that's winning a championship, and that's what we're going to do. But you got to invest in that, and that's what we're doing right now at the University of South Carolina. And in my opinion, just the brief time that I've been there, the total investment of football operations building, the investment of paying your coaches. I mean, those are things you've got to do, and that's what we're doing at South Carolina. If you look at the 4 teams in the playoff, they're invested in their programs. So that's what we're doing, and that's what's exciting at our place right now.
Right in front here.
Will, with AJ, is he 100%?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel real good about AJ, and he'll return kicks for us. We're, be involved in all special teams.
And also with Rico out, will Mon, Tyson in, AJ all take time?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Okay, next. Yeah, back here.
Coach, playing the #1 team in the country your last game, is that a help or a hindrance going to a bowl game?
Well, it's never good to end the season with a loss, especially against your arch rival, obviously. But, I don't know that it helps or hinders you going into a bowl season regardless.
Okay, next. Right back here.
Gary's kind of been in concussion protocol since A&M, but have you talked to him about his future at South Carolina and anything about him wanting to come back next year too?
Well, that's in our medical people's hands. I don't make those decisions. So Terry's been with our team as far as that's concerned. He's here with us at the bowl game, and we certainly wish him the best as far as the health and those things are concerned. But I'm not really ready to comment on those things right now.
Right here.
Well, who are you looking at to take Jemias' place at nickel?
Right, we got a rotation. We got Chris Lamons, obviously, who can play there. Stephen Montag can go, and DJ Smith as well. So we got 3 guys we feel comfortable playing in there.
And back here.
Well, what's Scott Moore's legacy as a Gamecock? What is he going to leave to this program?
Well, he needs to get another interception so he can set the record. That's the first thing. And he's going to end up leading tackler in 4 years. It says enough to me. The guy's extremely instinctive, extremely bright, intelligent. He's going to play for a long time because he's athletic. He can play every down. He can play on special teams because he's a really good space player. And my year in the NFL, one of the many things I learned, the guys that have longevity in that league are intelligent. They can play multiple spots. He has pass rush ability. He can cover and play in space. He can play against two-back run teams. So, obviously, God willing, injury-wise, if he can stay healthy, he'll play for a long time. Somebody will be very happy that they picked him.
Well, how different will the offense look this week, if at all, with Brian?
Well, hell, I can't tell you that.
Give us a hint.
No, Jim's smart. And Don Powell, those guys, they're good. I'm not going to give you any hints.
Right over here.
Coach, with the great group of underclassmen that you'll have back next year, how much could this game springboard you guys into next season?
Well, I think it's always important to you have a positive feeling leaving the season, and the only way you can do that is by winning the game. And you get these nice bowl sweats. Hey, you don't want to win them, wear them if you didn't win. So you want to be able to wear your bowl sweats and all that kind of business. But there's no question it creates positive momentum for you in your season. You continue to progress in the right way, and that's what we're looking forward to doing.
Right back here.
Well, how do you like Brian's preparation for the game? And secondly, how much will your offense's production Monday against Michigan factor in the decision you're going to make about Brian?
Well, I think the preparation's been really good, number one by Brian, but our entire offensive staff as well. And we've got a really good staff in place. And I've been very pleased with his command with our team, our staff, our players. We've been very productive in our practices in Columbia and also since we've come to Tampa. And I think he's done a really good job. Obviously, game day is important, from a calling standpoint, from an adjustment standpoint. Certainly, if you're making the right calls and the right adjustments, you're going to be productive. So that is important. But I've been very pleased at this point.
Leo.
Coach, how important is it to recruiting to be playing in a New Year's Day bowl game?
Well, you get noon kickoff here, January 1st. Everybody's watching, so any exposure your program is going to get, it's obviously going to help you. And I think that as much as anything, they see the progress that our program has made in a very short time. So again, as I said, we're investing in our program. It's an exciting time to be a Gamecock.
Question? Raise your hand. Right here. Phil?
What are you expecting from Brandon Peters, the Michigan quarterback? Limited playing time, but what do you know what you expect?
Well, I mean, they are who they are, schematically, in my opinion, Phil. And I think that they're a guy that, athletically can do some things with his legs, but he is an accurate thrower. He's a guy that, played extremely well for them, got hurt against Wisconsin and missed the last couple ball games. But when he's been in there, he's been a very productive guy. They've played three guys throughout the year, and O'Corn as well. May see him. I don't know that, but he's a guy that within what they do schematically, the multiple shifts, motions, the two-back, the run game, the play actions off of that. They've got talented skill guys outside. We're going to be in some 50-50 ball situations. We got to win those down the field. We got to do a great job of eye control off the play actions, and they have multiple tight end sets and different blocking surfaces that they're going to give you. So they're going to give some issues in the game that we're going to have to, obviously adjust. And Jim does a nice job week to week of getting you some different looks. So, those adjustments will have to be a lot of very important in-game adjustments for this ball game.
Right here.
How much time do y'all set aside for younger guys during bowl practice, like I guess on those Sunday practices?
Really did a lot in Columbia. Every day in Columbia, we set time for them to make sure that they got reps. But I think the first three practices, I didn't make the seniors practice, so we didn't have many. But from that standpoint, that's more of an emphasis for those guys. It's basic fundamentals, techniques. Schematically, we're very simple in what we do and how we approach things. So they got most of that work there in Columbia.
Any guys in particular that really progress?
Yeah, Jordan Rhodes is a guy that I think's really, he had surgery on his nose the day that we left Columbia, so he hasn't, participated right now with us down here, but he's a guy that I thought made tremendous progress. That was something that was a pre-existing issue. It wasn't anything that happened on our campus, but, Jordan Carney shows up. Eric Douglas continues to be a guy that we're excited about. I mean, the young receivers, freshmen, are all playing, so offensively, most of those guys were already in the fold. Taven Jackson, I think, has done some nice things. We're getting him back healthy a little bit. He's had a little bit of an issue with a hamstring. Been very pleased with his progress. Inside, MJ Webb's done a nice job for us. I mean, there's been some guys that have flashed. Aaron Sterling, this was a huge time for him to continue to improve. Now, he's playing a lot. Damani Staley's done some nice things for us. Devon Bowen shows up and flashes at times. So, all of those guys. Sherrod Green's been injured a little bit, but he's played and started for us this year. So Again, we got a very young team. 70% of our team's freshmen and sophomores. So but this is a very valuable point for them because it is an opportunity to rep, and this is a developmental game, and you got to take reps.
Rhodes left tackle.
What's that?
Is Rhodes a left tackle?
He's been repping it right.
Right, Carty at left, I guess.
I mean, he's been on scout team.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Coach, so far, this is your first trip to the Outback Bowl. Has the
No,
experience?
it's actually my third trip.
Oh, as a head coach.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
Has the experience met your expectations?
Absolutely, it's exceeded our expectations. But again, you get down here in this weather and the hospitality of Hillsborough County and Tampa people and the Outback Bowl people has been awesome.
Right back here.
Coach, you mentioned Eric Douglas, but what has he done to kind of show some improvement? Where do you see him maybe fitting in with this?
Well, Eric's really bright, and he can play multiple spots on the offensive line. Obviously, we're losing Allen next year, and we got to find a center. So that's been a guy that we've repped in there. He's done a nice job there. He's also can play guard, and we athletically can be an emergency tackle in some situations. But extremely bright. Really like the way he's continued to progress with our football team.
Well, you mentioned center. Would Chandler Farrell be a consideration next year?
Absolutely, yeah. Chandler's done a nice job for us. Donnell Stanley's a guy that's done that. Zach Bailey's been a guy that's done that. So you've got some options. You've always got to train and have three ready to play in a game.
Rebecca.
Coach, when you take a look at how this team has progressed since fall camp, what are some of the things that have impressed you the most?
I think this is a really fun team to be around as far as their approach to practice and how they've approached working and understanding and the culture of your organization and somewhat of a blue collar mentality. That's my mentality. That's what we want to be. And then have guys and recruit players that buy into that workman-like mentality. We're going to do some special things. And I really like our work ethic and how we approach practice. I mean, I could probably count on one hand where we just had really poor practices this past year. And a lot of that goes to the leadership. When your best players are good people, that normally good things happen for you. And that's the situation we're in right now.
Obviously, at defensive tackle, you guys are pretty veteran at the starting spots. How much development do you feel like the guys behind them have done as you kind of look forward?
Well, I think Taylor Stallworth's had an outstanding year. He has played really well for us. He's been very consistent each week. You know exactly what you're going to get out of him. He's been a guy that we're going to need he needs to play extremely well on Monday for us. I think Javon Kinlaw, you're talking about a guy that showed up at 340 pounds in May. He's down to under 300 pounds now, I think, and has played at a really high level late in the latter part of the season. Kobe Smith continues to come on and do some nice things for us. I've been very pleased with his progress. Uric Jones continues to do some nice things for us and giving us, a good 25 to 30 snaps in a game, which is what we need. So I've been very pleased with that progress. And then you got Keir Thomas and Dante Sawyer, two guys that move inside in situational football, third down, 1 minute to help us out. And Keir, certainly a guy who continues to grow, can be in that role next year. So been pleased with the progress. I think Javon's transformations really has helped us defensively tremendously.
Back up here.
Parker White has hit on a much higher percentage of his kicks here down the stretch. Did y'all notice anything that he was doing early on mechanically, or is he just out there taking more kicks?
Well, I think his confidence level has grown, number one. I think number two, we've put him in better situations inside the 30 as far as some opportunities that are concerned. But I think, mechanically, Coleman Hutzler's done a really good job of working some details with him that he needed. And it's not a kickoff situation. It's more about the plant foot and all of those things that he's talked to him about that we needed to improve on. But I think confidence level is a huge part of that.
Were some of the misses early mainly on him, or did it snap or issue?
Well, we've had a couple snap issues and a hold issue, so there's no doubt about that. So it wasn't all on Parker. But again, there was some, I go back and evaluate myself. We put him in some tough situations. I did. And probably in some of those situations I'd take back.
Right back here.
When do you first remember being aware of Jim in his career? Whether it was when he was a quarterback at Michigan as an NFL guy?
Quarterback at Michigan, yeah.
What do you remember about him?
Tough, hard-nosed, exactly the way their football teams play. Go back, again, I'm a football fanatic, especially college football. I love, the history and tradition of football, but seeing him play at Michigan, and obviously I think he had a 14-year career. He's a first-round draft pick. Had a great career there. Obviously had some AFC Championship game against Pittsburgh when he was at the Colts. I remember that game. They lost right at the end there. But had a great career. Then obviously when we went to San Diego, he was a program that did a fantastic job that they had never really won before. Then I obviously got the opportunity at Stanford. But his dad was at Western Kentucky when I was at Eastern Kentucky. And I was coaching defensive backs for Roy Kidd. And Coach Harbaugh was there. And I remember recruiting in Bradenton. And Jim was an NFL quarterback and with a Western Kentucky warm-up suit on, recruiting for Western Kentucky. I don't know how legal that was. And there's a statute of limitations, so I'm sure he couldn't get in trouble for me saying this, but it was unusual. But I did see him in a high school in a Western Kentucky jumpsuit.
How much will you play up the underdog role? Not just that you're underdogs in this game, but their Michigan Wings program in college football, and you're still trying to...
I don't know that really matters when it comes to game day. I mean, I think our guys understand that, the respect that I have for Michigan and that we as a program have. But, it's all about your preparation. That ought to be your motivation for everything you do. And we've prepared hard for this game. I like where we are. I wish we'd had a little better practice today. But I like our mindset where we are.
Coach,
Okay.
at the contract signing, you said, just because you get fired doesn't mean you're a bad coach. Did you ever doubt your abilities after the Florida experience?
Oh, no. Absolutely not. Some of y'all did, but I was good.
You asked right here, Bill?
What'd you make of a little flare-up at the bowling competition last night? But does that, I mean, I know you didn't probably like that they had a little scuffle, but the intensity...
It's a little gamemanship, that's all, that's good.
The intensity of the players, you see something there that you might think will carry over in some form of that?
I don't know, running your mouth at a bowling alley doesn't do a lot for me.
They were intense about the competition, I will say that. They were having
I don't
some
matter if
fun.
you're bowling or not, you gotta compete.
They were,
right?
it was great. It went down to the final 2 frames, by the way. I think the last guy, the last player bowling on South Carolina had 3 straight strikes in the 10th frame to win it. It was a comfortable behind.
I know nothing about bowling, so that's a great
That's called
accomplishment.
turkey. It's called 3 strikes in a row.
Unlike baseball, that's a really good thing.
It is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Coach, first year of the early signing period, good thing or a bad thing? Or is the jury still out?
I don't really, my opinion really doesn't matter, so I don't normally give it. They generally go opposite what I say, so I'm not gonna give my opinion.
All right. Coach, thank you so much
All right,
for
thank
being
y'all.
here.
Appreciate it.
And thank you guys for being here as well.